Chicago, like most big cities, has its fair share of unsolved crime. And in most of these cases, somebody saw or heard something. Somebody may have seen a suspicious person, a car driving away from the scene, or simply overheard somebody talking about the case. With your help, we can put these criminals behind bars where they belong. Here in Chicago, we have too many unsolved murders. We need your help. In these cases, the police department is only as strong as the citizens that get involved. Oftentimes, all the detectives need is a tip, a start. Somebody to call in and say, I saw something. Any little information that you know can be the impetus to solve the entire case. On tonight's episode, we'll look at the case of Darius Farley. On June 5th, 2012, Darius Farley, a fun-loving guy who always had a smile on his face, was at a friend's house with his brother watching a basketball game. After the basketball game ended, they entered their vehicle. That's when a gunman approached and started firing shots. Here's his story.
Me and Darius are first cousins. We lived in the same house for relatively 18 years together, so we relatively like brothers.
Such a lovable kid. Just loved to be Darius, kept a smile on his face. Was just happy. Everybody loved Darius. Darius was the kid that everybody gravitated toward.
We loved laughing with each other. That's one good memory I do have about him. I always go back and think about stuff that made us laugh, and you know how you remember that when this happened, I always do that. I got a million memories of me and him just laughing at things that we thought was just hilarious.
I can remember when my aunt was dying with cancer and my son was over there taking care of her while her kids worked. You know, just spending that time with her, you know.
One time he was going to take pictures, and me and him had the same outfit. So when I seen him put his outfit on, I ran in the house to go put the same outfit on just to go with them, and we ended up going to take pictures.
I can remember when he told my husband, you need to get my mother pregnant so I could spread my wings and fly so I can breathe. And my friend was like, why would he say something like that? And it stuck with me. And in January, I went to the doctor and they confirmed that I was pregnant. And I had my daughter, and my daughter was like the joy of his life. Everywhere we went, he had her. He would beat me putting the carrier on. He can pack a diaper bag better than I could because I didn't have any kids for 19 years. Darius was the only child, and I wasn't having any more kids, but his sister was the love of his life.
Okay, well, this is the case of Darius Farley, who was tragically shot on the 5th of June, 2012. On the 6800 block of South Calumet. Darius and his brother and a couple other teenagers were watching a basketball game. After the game, they were going to go home. Once they left the apartment where they were watching the game, they entered their van. The brother, Earl, decided he was a little tired, so he was going to lay down in the back seat and relax until they got home. As they're driving off, they did see a couple of individuals approached the van, both armed with handguns. The brother, Earl, he told detectives that he did say, we don't want any problems, we just want to get out of here. They demanded that he get out of the car, both get out of the car. When they didn't comply, shots began to be fired, striking both the victim, Darius, and Earl. Darius Farley was driving, so he kind of passed out as he was trying to get away, and then crashed into a CTA bus, and the wounds proved to be fatal.
Worst day of my life. That Monday, I can remember I got sick at work. It was about 10:40, and I had gotten so weak. And I can remember going home that evening, and telling my mom, I said, Mom, I need to sleep with you tonight because I think I'm gonna die tonight. The next day, at about 10-something that night, it wasn't me dying. It was my son.
We was actually together that day laughing, and we was watching a video, and he left. This was probably around 7 o'clock. I got a call around like 10:10. It was his younger brother. Called me and said, you need to call somebody. We was just in the car, and the car got shot up. The first person I told was his mom.
I could remember my nephew getting the call and said, Darius just got shot. And I was moving in slow motion. You know, and when I got to the scene, I could remember saying to the people out there, what happened to my baby? My baby don't bother nobody. What happened to my baby out here? That was my world, my baby. Anybody knew me and knew my son, they knew it was a bond there. I was there for my child. The day went by, and you know how I went upstairs, I laid in his bed. And I was just thinking, and I can remember my nephew Robert coming in. And I could see the tears welling up in his eyes. And I'm saying, Rob, don't cry. It's okay. It's okay, you know?
Have you been in an accident? Have you been the victim of discrimination or had your rights violated? Have you been injured? If so, the lawyers at Hale Law would love to talk to you. We offer a free consultation. Call me, Andy Hale, 312-870-6926. 312-870-6926. I look forward to talking with you about your case.
So on June 5th, 2012, late in the evening, Darius Farley and his brother Earl were at a friend's house watching a basketball game. After the game was over, they were heading home. Once they got into the vehicle and attempted to drive away, two individuals approached with handguns. There was some sort of dispute that occurred, and then shots were fired. When the police arrived, they observed the victim and his brother in a van that had traveled a little bit further south and crashed into a CTA bus at 69th and Calumet, and the wounds proved to be fatal.
When Darius died, it impacted my whole family because he had cousins, but they were raised like brothers. So when he died, it's like my family just separated. They wasn't as close as they used to be because it was like he was the glue that kept everybody together because everybody loved him so much.
I try not to think about so much of how he died. I try to think about all the things that made me and him laugh, the things we shared together to keep me going. So I just won't be at a standstill. But I think about him every day, you know, every day.
That was the love of my life. It's nothing I wouldn't have done to keep him here.
As in any investigation, when we have a murder, one of the first things we do look at is the victim's background. What is the motive? Is there anything in the victim's background that would cause someone who wanted to do this to them? And we didn't find anything. So we were kind of at a halt. Why would someone want to do this to Darius and or his brother? That was the other thing we had to kind of decipher as well. Who was the intended victim? Was it Darius or was it the brother? And did Darius unfortunately get the fatal wound? And those were things that our detectives had to sort out through, again, through interviews and background investigations of both of them.
I hate what they did to me, how they destroyed my family. I want to know why. It'll give us some type of closure, some type of peace, knowing that that person is no longer on the streets. You know, it will help me. It will ease my pain a little, not a lot, but just to know he's somewhere and he won't hurt no one else's child. Because if you did it to my son, you probably did it before and you're probably gonna do it again.
And I believe that nobody should die in a manner that way, because can't nobody play God, you get what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't a natural cause, somebody took his life.
One of the things that popped up during the investigation, there was an incident 2 days and then 4 days prior to this on the same block where an individual was shot. So right now we're looking for him because Our forensic evidence shows that the weapon that was used in that shooting was the same weapon that was used to kill Darius. So that's one guy that we have to have him come forward. And unfortunately, that's a hurdle that we have to overcome far too many times, is where we have shooting victims who see and sometimes actually know who shot him and don't come forward. So with all the information that we got, the background, the other two incidents, the connection of the firearm evidence from the first incident and the third incident, the murder, we feel that the investigation is going in the right direction. Do we need help? Absolutely. We need someone to come forward and say, I know that this individual is involved. Perhaps he approached you, asked for help as to hide evidence, come up with stories, to give him an alibi. If they could please call 312-747-8380. You can ask for myself, Lieutenant Ozzie Valdez, or any homicide detective or sergeant. They'll be willing, and I will be willing to take your information and hopefully set up an interview. It's going in the right direction. We just need a little bit more help from the community or any other witnesses out there.
The cases you just watched remain unsolved, and we need your help. If you have any information on tonight's episode or any other cases, please give our detectives a call. We need our communities to come together so we can take back our streets and make our neighborhoods a safer place.